question. Wow. So what you just heard was the Zvex Lo-Fi Junky.
The instant lo-fi junkie.
The instant
lo-fi junkie. That's because there was a pedal called the lo-fi junkie looper, right?
Okay.
And it was this pedal that Zachary Vex made that would loop something you played, like a looper pedal, and then give it this lo-fi hiss, warmth, compression. And Joel, I think you pronounce his name Corte, from Chase Bliss Audio, designed this working for Zachary.
Wow.
So
small world.
Very small world. And so what you're hearing is a chorus, basically a triangle wave.
Yeah, like what kind of pedal is this?
So first and foremost, it's a compressor pedal, and it also has like a kind of hissy white noise, right? Like
right. You can kind of hear it in the background right now.
Like if it were a dusty tape head or something like that. And then it's a chorus pedal. Or a vibrato pedal, which, depending on how you want to look at it. And so what you're hearing first in the intro that I played is a triangle wave kind of modulation to the sound, which gives it that bend out of pitchy kind of sound.
Right, yeah.
And then you're hearing the lo-fi hiss, and then you're hearing the compressor. And it's a really strong compressor, and that's part of what gives it that kind of lo-fi, vintage
and yeah,
sound.
even so, compression, right? In this pedal, like what are we doing? Like to the signal,
squashing it. It's squashed.
And even then, like I think a lot of people might not even know what squashing means.
Oh, right.
So
a compressor is basically like a math function box, right?
Okay.
Like from back in algebra, and you have like a sound, right? And you give it to this thing, and it says, well, what do you want me to do? And so you say, well, I want you to turn this down. And it goes, okay, when do you want me to do it? And you say, when it gets to this level.
So threshold.
Right, exactly, a threshold. So when it gets to 2, I want you to turn it down by 3. If you think about the volume knob goes from 1 to 10, right? So in that example, it would actually make it go away entirely. Kidding. That's not how it works. It's not subtractive. I was trying to be funny. So look, the point is that with this, it has a very low threshold and a very high compression level. Right?
Like some pedals or pieces of gear, like you hit a compressor hard, and if you're not hitting it hard, it's not really doing a lot.
It won't do anything, right?
Yeah.
So this one is always on. The first thing you notice about the knobs on the pedal is that like you can't adjust the volume of the compressor at all. You can't adjust the blend. So the blend knob in the middle here, the compressor will always be there. It's really the amount of lo-fi that you're getting out. So.
Okay.
It's a beautiful, spanky kind of.
Sure. Sounds more like a regular compressor, I guess, maybe. The hiss is different for sure.
Right, and then if you have the knob in the middle, there you can almost get kind of like chorusy sounds.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a little bit of a pitch.
Yeah, from the chorus you get a little bit of
right.
a pitch warble, right? And then if you turn it all the way to the lo-fi, the compression, the thing that I really can't stress enough of that people get wrong about this pedal is that the compression doesn't change. It never goes away. You can look videos of Zachary Vex saying that, and you can see in the manual it doesn't. All you're doing is adding more of the lo-fi sound to the blend, which is where we get my favorite sound, which is that Boards of Canada like. Right?
Very cool sound.
So the speed knob controls the rate of the warble, right? So if I turn it all the way up, we have.
Much like a rate on a chorus pedal, I guess, right?
Yeah. Whereas if we turn it real slow. May not even be able to hear the warble. So then you can turn the depth up, which is the amount of warble, right? So how far, so if you think about it, it has 3 different waves, right? A sine, which is kind of rounded, a triangle, which looks like a triangle, and then a square wave, which means like up, up, up. So what you're able to do is the depth basically is how far it goes into that, right? Which makes the effect more prominent, especially when controlled with the speed. So if we have it on like a square wave, really low depth, and then the speed here, you can hear like the.
Yeah.
So it's like,
okay.
There's no
All
smooth. Right. Whereas with the triangle, we can hear that it's
a gradual peak and then down.
Yeah, exactly. And then the sine wave basically just, well, if we turn the speed up, you can hear
this should be
it.
the smoothest.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Like a watery, yeah, sure.
Beautiful, right? So, that's really it for what this pedal is. And I mean, you can just get, more weird with it if you.
Yeah, it's a kind of a niche pedal for sure. You know, if you want this kind of sound, it's awesome. I can see a lot of people like using this as like a reamper too, for like any kind of sound aside from just like
totally. And you know, it's also a good compressor. If you turn so you can't blend the compressor out, but you can blend the lo-fi sound out. So if you blend it all the way to the compressor, it is a good compressor.
I think it's called a fixed threshold compressor, if I'm not mistaken.
Because it describes that.
Yeah, because some compressors you have to set a threshold and a ratio and stuff like that, like if you use like a plugin or whatever. But this also to like an 1176 like preamp or whatever. It's the same thing.
Fixed threshold.
Fixed threshold. Right. So how you hit it depends. But it's a very low threshold, but it's fixed. You can't change it.
For sure.
I think that's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's an awesome pedal. I would say that it's you know, pretty much. I mean, like you can use it for a coarse pedal. You can get vibrato sounds, right? If you do like, especially like square wave and pretty fast, nice and deep. Like here, you can get like this, like. Get weird.
As like any Zvex pedal.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But really, I mean, I think that where it thrives is triangle wave, pretty deep, and you know, maybe like speed at noon, maybe, you know, 2 o'clock, somewhere in there, and then that like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's my favorite setting on the whole thing. If you want your guitar to sound lo-fi, if you want it to sound like Bibio Boards of Canada, or like it is from a home movie from 1984, like this is gonna get you that.
If you're a junkie.
If you're a junkie for this lo-fi stuff.
It's like Saturday night.
Right.
You just like black out on Fleet Foxes. Whatever.
That's right.
This is for
That's
you.
right. You're sitting here and you're watching TV or something. You're just like, it's too well produced.
Right, and you're like you're eating like those little cupcakes, those like boutique cupcakes from those stores. No, it's just me. All right, never mind. It's pretty lo-fi.
Yeah.
Maybe I have some misconceptions about what lo-fi actually means.
Yeah, because I think artisan cupcakes are the furthest from lo-fi.
So for some reason, hipster lo-fi stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, or cake pop.
So they like their music underproduced and everything else overproduced.
Yeah, right.
What's the deal?
Yeah, like I'm gonna listen to Bibio and have a bunch of cake pops. Could just be me.
This pedal is amazing.
Yeah, so check it out. I will link you below. If you have any questions, please let us know.